Thank you, President. My question is to the Attorney-General. The VLRC's 2016 report into the role of victims of crime in the criminal trial process proposed 51 recommendations. Recommendation 23 related to establishing a service modelled on the Sexual Assault Communications Privilege Service at Legal Aid New South Wales to support sexual assault survivors navigate the court process with things like subpoenas of medical records. This recommendation has not yet been implemented in Victoria. The advice proposed to be given would be about a victim's substantive legal rights and entitlements, noting legal advice and procedural matters being explained to survivors is normally the obligation of DPP or OPP or victims of services agencies to provide. So my question is, why has this recommendation not been implemented as yet?
Attorney-General.
Thank you, President, and I thank Mr Grimbley for his question and raising the important matter of victim support in our state. Obviously, we want victim-centred approaches to our justice system to ensure that we can support victims at a most challenging time in their life and assist them to get on with their lives after experiencing what can often be very traumatic. In relation to the Law Reform Commission's work and the recommendations that have been made, they are a direct responsibility of the Minister for Victim Support, but indeed we work very closely on these matters. So I can inform Mr Grimbley that last year the Minister for Victim Support launched the Victim Services Review, and a key recommendation of the Centre for Innovative Justice's report and review is for a victim's legal service. And I know that Minister Hutchins is working hard on both the reform in relation to better financial assistance for victims, particularly in relation to VOCAT, but also in dealing and managing the system, but also the victim service system for victims and survivors, including how to provide legal services to these people. And I know that she'll have a range of announcements in due course.
Mr Grimbley, on the supplementary.
Thank you, President. Thank you, Attorney. And this, you may have already addressed parts of this supplementary question already, and that's okay. But this recommendation of a victim legal support service by the VLRC identifies that there is a gap in the assistance victims of crime can seek. Problems with other agencies, including the OPP, being unable to help victims complete victim impact statements due to a perceived conflict, is just one small example of many gaps in assistance available for victims of crime. My supplementary question is, does the government see a gap in the legal support victims of crime can access, and would they consider investigating the benefits of a victim legal support service in Victoria?
Attorney-General.
And thank Mr Grimbley. And yes, all of these matters are under active consideration, and it's certainly something I'm committed to embarking on as Attorney-General. I've had a really good conversation with the Victims Commissioner this morning and committed to work with her on identifying gaps in relation to support for victims, whether they are navigating the system or recovering from having dealt with the system. This is something that I'm committed to, and I'm sure we'll have many conversations about how we can improve the experience of victims when they unfortunately come into impact with the criminal justice system.
Minister's statement. Minister